Je anilo premadano karma kacho
Hare Krishna. Request everybody to start from this side. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksurdilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stavitam Jena Bhutale Swayambhurupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapantantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jata Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagunaragunatan Nitam Stratam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Virijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Saguna Bhavita Sri Vishaganitam Stra Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Sri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirdishesa Sunnavadi Paskatate Shatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pranayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gurite Namaha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantara Kantara Mostite Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi prananami hari priye. Vanchakalpa taruvaishya vivashindu vivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Today we are celebrating the most auspicious occasion of establishing Sri Giriraja Govardhan Shiva in our temple in Houston. For many years, the devotees in Houston worshipped in the old Rosalie Street Temple Sri Sri Gaura and Nitai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And that worship was going on for maybe 10 years' time. So, by the grace of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, all the devotees in Houston made advancement. And that advancement has borne fruit when we saw the appearance of Sri Sri Radha Nila Madhava, who were established 5 years ago in this temple. So now everyone has been very faithfully worshipping Sri Sri Gaura and Sri Sri Radha Nila Madhava very faithfully, and the result is now that Sri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, has come to Houston. So, our temple president, Madhavananda Prabhu, has said to me, I said, Madhavananda, you told me 400 people are coming. Where are the 400 people? He said they may come by the time of Prasad. I said, but we are going to do the Abhishek ceremony. They will be missing this. He said, well, the problem is that people do not know what Govardhan is. I have put out 3,000 circulars. We have made dozens and hundreds of phone calls, but people may not be knowing what Sri Govardhan is. So you please explain to everyone the meaning of this Govardhan Shiva. So, of course, one of the important points about the Hare Krishna movement is that this Krishna Consciousness movement is very authorized. What is the authority? Who is the highest authority? Lord Sri Krishna. And what is he the author of? So many Vedic literatures. Authority means he is the author. So Krishna is the most prolific author. In his form as Srila Vyasadeva, he compiled all the Vedas. So today we will read to you from some of the Vedic literatures. Veda means Shruti and Smriti, and they are both of equal importance. Shruti, of the original Veda, was divided into 4, and Upanishads. And these were then expanded in so many different Puranas, in Mahabharata, Ramayana, and many other literatures. So today we're going to read some of these. Perhaps, how many of you have visited Vrindavan? Raise your hands. Oh. Very good. How many people have not visited Vrindavan? Raise your hands. Oh. So you know, what is the importance of Rajadam or Vrindavan Dham? Raja means the whole area, not just Vrindavan. Vrindavan is one village of Raj. But Raja includes Mathura. What is the significance of Mathura? We hear that Krishna has taken his birthday. And there's also many other parts of Raj area, namely Govardhan, Varsana, Nandagram, Radha Kund, Shama Kund, the different Vans, Mahavan, all the different Talavan, different 12 forests of Vrindavan. Why are these places special? Because the Supreme Lord Krishna came there. What are these places? Is it some part of India? No. It is not. Because according to Shastra we know that the Dham is non-different here than the Dham in the spiritual world. God is a person, a supreme spiritual person. And He lives in a place. That place is known as Goloka. It is the supreme spiritual planet, the highest abode. And Krishna dwells there. So that same Dham becomes manifested here in this world when Krishna comes. Just like we read in Bhagavad Gita, Ajopi Shana Vyatma Bhutana Mishraropi Sham Prakritan Shramadishtaya Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Krishna comes in His original form. And He comes with His eternal associates. And He also manifests His Dham. That means that the Vrindavan, Mathura Vrindavan of this world, is a replica of the Mathura Vrindavan of the spiritual world. Are there any differences? No. The only difference is one is high up in the Vaikuntha region, and the other one is in this material world. But it is not part of the material world. It is spiritual in every way. So we learn from a very important book. This book, Nectar of Instruction, is written by our Acharya, Srila Rupa Goswami, who is the foremost disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now Rupa Goswami has written as follows. Vaikunta Janito Varam Madhu Puri Tatrapi Rasotsava Vrindaranyam Udarapani Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kundam Vihapi Gokula Patihi Premam Vita Pavana Kuryarasya Virajato Giritate Sevam Viveki. The holy place, known as Mathura, is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha. What is Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha, the place where there is no anxiety. Kunta means anxiety. This material world is full of anxiety. Does everyone agree? There's no argument. So, that place which is beyond the material world, the spiritual sky, the kingdom of God, is called Vaikuntha, no anxiety. And of all the different planets, those Vaikuntha planets, there's no need of sunshine, no need of moonshine, no need of electricity. Each planet gives its own light. So just like we know that Superman comic, he has, what is his planet? Krypton. Right? It glows. So that place is simply somebody's imagination. But this place is the real place. Each planet gives off light. And all of these Vaikuntha planets together, amongst them all, the highest one is called Goloka. What does Go mean? Cow. What does Loka mean? Planet. So Goloka means that planet where there are so many cows. What kind of cow? Surabi cow. Now what is a Surabi cow? It fulfills all your desires. Not only does it pour out milk, but all desires that you have are fulfilled by these Surabi cows. Not only that, but this planet, Goloka, is very special. This material universe is one universe, and there are millions of such universes. And all together they are 1/4 of the creation of God. And the spiritual Vaikunthas is the other 3/4. And all the material universes and all the Vaikunthas together are not as big as Goloka, Krishna's planet. Why? Because Krishna is all attractive. Anyone who hears about Krishna thinks, I want to go there. Krishna is more attractive than Narayan. Even Lakshmi Devi, who never leaves the chest of Narayan, she did tapasya to go and see Krishna. Now sometimes people say, Lakshmi Devi should not have done this. How could she leave her husband, Lord Narayan? But our Goswamis have explained there is no wrong. Because Krishna is the original Narayan. So Lakshmi Devi simply wanted to see her Lord and husband in his very natural setting of Vrindavan Dham. So she was not wrong in wishing like this. Lord Shiva also wanted to go to Vrindavan to see Krishna. He wanted to go into this spiritual Vrindavan, but he could not enter. So he did so much tapasya. So much tapasya. And after doing much tapasya, then he got the form of Gopi. And then he was able to get near to the rasa dance. And Krishna instructed him, now you stand on the outside of the Rasa Mandala, and anyone who's not qualified, you keep them out. So Shiva, Lakshmi Devi, everyone is doing tapasya to get to Goloka. It is such a special place. Why? Because it is called Chintamani Dham. What is the nature of Chintamani? Chintamani is not like bricks. It is a stone, but not like a brick. Bricks are very ordinary. Now, Chintamani is a stone that fulfills all your desires. Any desire you have, you can get it fulfilled. So what do they use this Chintamani stone for in the spiritual world? You know what they use it for? Can you guess? No. They use it to build their houses. Now you may say, well, what's wrong with that? If you had a stone for which you could get anything you wanted, would you use it to build a house? They have trees in Goloka called Kalpa Vriksha. You know what that means? Kalpa Vriksha tree. Vriksha means, Kalpa Vriksha means any desire you have, the tree will fulfill. And all the trees in Goloka are Kalpa Vriksha trees. Do you know what they do with those trees? What? What do you think they do? Huh? What do they pick from these trees? And what do they ask the tree for? But they ask the tree, please give me fruits and flowers to offer to Krishna. Now you may say, what's wrong with these residents? What's wrong with these inhabitants of Goloka? They have got Kalpavriksha trees. They have got Chintamani houses. They have got Sarabi cows. All of them could get any desire. And all they're asking for is milk, bricks, and fruits and flowers. Why? Because these people are very special. They have got no desire. That is the reason. They have got no desire. They have nothing to ask because they have Krishna Prema. They have got love for Krishna, and for that, they have no other desire to fulfill. They have already given up all material desires. So, now, I just read you that of all the Vaikunthas, Mathura, this Goloka planet has got 3 parts. In the spiritual world, Goloka is divided in 3. I hope that anyone who goes will still stay around to see our deity Giriraja. Anyway, he is going to be here forever. So, now, this Goloka planet, I was telling you, has 3 parts. One part is Dwarka. Right? Everyone knows Dwarka. How many people have visited Dwarka? How many people have not visited Dwarka? Very unusual group of people. Alright, then there's another part of Goloka, Mathura, and there is Vrindavan. So, of all the Vaikunthas, the best place in the Vaikunthas is Mathura, Rupa Goswami says. is superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the forest of Vrindavan, because Krishna's Ras Leela pastimes are there. Rupa Goswami is going to tell us, just like in Houston, right? There are so many neighborhoods. So, what would you say is the best neighborhood? If people could go anywhere, if they had as much money as they had, and they could move to the best neighborhood, what neighborhood is that in Houston? Because of this answer, you will not go to Goloka. You have still got desire. Therefore, you have desire. The gopis would never have said this. What would they have said? Yes, right here, Hare Krishna neighborhood. Yeah, go reveal yourself. Fall in the trap. But like this, there are many different neighborhoods, you see? So, Rupa Goswami is telling us what is the river oaks, of the spiritual world. What's the best place? So he's going step by step. He says Vaikuntha is better than this material universe. But the best part of Vaikuntha is Mathura, because Krishna was born. And better than Mathura is Vrindavan, where Krishna danced Ras Leela. Now he says, and higher to the forest of Vrindavan, superior to Vrindavan, is Govardhan Hill. For it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna, and it was the place of his various loving pastimes. Krishna also did Ras Leela on Govardhan. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund. Radha Kund means that is the pond where Srimati Radharani and her gopis, they bathe there. Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokul, Sri Krishna. Does anyone know how this Radha Kund came? You know the story. First of all, Krishna had to kill a demon. One big demon named Aristasura came to Vrindavan. He was a big bull demon in the shape of a bull. So Krishna killed him. So after Krishna killed Aristasura, what did the gopis say? We cannot associate with you because you have killed Dharma. The bull is Dharma. So he said that was not Dharma, that was a Rakshasa, a demon, dressed as a bull. They said, no, you killed the bull. So they said that, well, we can't associate with you. So he said, what do I have to do to purify myself? They said, you have to take bath in every holy river in India. So what did Krishna do? How did he do it? And then what did he do? He stamped his foot on the ground. And the impression of his foot made a hole. And then all the holy rivers he called, one by one. And they all came and they filled up a pond. And then Krishna took his bath. So Radharani and the gopis saw this, that Krishna had his own pond. So they thought that now we will also have our pond. So they took their bengal from their arm and they all started to dig and dig and dig. And they made a very deep pond. And then all the holy rivers again came and filled up that pond. And then Srimati Radharani and all the gopis, they took their bath. So this is Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. And they are both side by side. And they are right at the foot of Govardhan Hill. Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial, nectarine prema of the Lord of Gokul, Sri Krishna. Where is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? So this is the position of Govardhan. Govardhan is celebrated in two ways. Govardhan is not different than Radha and Krishna together. At the same time, Govardhan is the best devotee of Radha and Krishna. Why? Because by worshipping Govardhan, you get Radha Krishna prema. So only a devotee can give you Radha Krishna prema. Therefore, Govardhan is said to be the best of all the devotees of Radha Krishna. At the same time, he is Radha Krishna. Now, what happened when Krishna was here? You all must know that Krishna lifted Govardhan, correct? With his left hand, with the pinky of his left finger, left hand. So, before this happened, there was Indra Yagna. Every year, the inhabitants of Vrindavan would do Indra Yagna. So Krishna wanted to teach a very important instruction. What is that? No need to worship any deva or devata, no need to worship any demigod, just worship Bhagavan. So he told Nanda Baba, we should worship Govardhan. So he gave this instruction. I will read Prabhupada's Krishna Consciousness. First I will read what Prabhupada has written. I have this one. Now, we will hear Prabhupada's explanation. Krishna told Nanda Baba, don't bother with this Indra Yagna. Nanda Maharaj said, but if we don't, Indra will become very angry. But Krishna said, we have our relationship with Govardhan. We are all cowherd men and cowherd ladies. Govardhan is maintaining us. It is supplying nice grass for our cows, nice places to rest. In every way it is benefiting us, giving us jewels and minerals. So you may say, well, that is okay for the Vrindavan Vasis, but what about we? But we are Vrindavan Vasis, because we are all the devotees of Radha and Nilamadava. And Radha and Nilamadava are in Vrindavan. So what was true for Nanda Baba must be also true for us. We are all rich Vasis by spiritual birth. So Maharaj Nanda finally relented and agreed. The cowherd men then inquired from Krishna, how does he want the yajna performed? And Krishna gave them the following directions. Prepare very nice foodstuffs of all descriptions from the grains and ghee collected for the yajna. Prepare rice. Ladies, are you listening? We want to know if you have done all of this. Who are the Maharajis who have cooked today? Raise your hand. So few Maharajis. You could have all been cooking for Giriraja. Now you will get another chance. Now please listen, Maharajis, listen very carefully. Here's what you must cook. Very nice foodstuffs, collected from grains and ghee. Prepare rice, dal, halwa, pakora, puri, all kinds of milk preparations like kheer, rabri, gulab jamun, rasgulla, sandesh, laddu, and invite the learned Brahmins who can chant the Vedic hymns and offer oblations to the fire. Then the Brahmins should be given all kinds of grains in charity. Then decorate all the cows and feed them well. Where is our cow? This is for Govardhan Puja. So today we may not have a cow, we will have a picture of a cow. But hopefully when Govardhan Day, Diwali Day comes, we may get a cow here. As far as the lower animals are concerned, such as the dogs and lower grades of people, such as chandalas or fifth class of men who are considered untouchable, give them sumptuous prasad. After nice grasses have been given to the cows, the sacrifice known as Govardhan Puja may immediately begin. Now, according to the instruction of Lord Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men called in the learned Brahmins and began to worship Govardhan Hill by chanting Vedic hymns and offering prasad. The inhabitants of Vrindavan assembled together. They decorated their cows and gave them grass. Keeping the cows in front, they began to circumambulate Govardhan Hill. Now, why is Govardhan Hill so special? I will interrupt this reading to hear why Govardhan Hill is so special. Now, please listen attentively. Here's what the gopis say. How fortunate is Govardhan Hill, for it is enjoying the association of Lord Krishna and Balaram, who are accustomed to walk on it. If Krishna and Balaram walk on you, you are very fortunate. Govardhan Hill has always got Krishna and Balaram on top. Thus, Govardhan is always in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord. And because Govardhan Hill is so obliged to Lord Krishna and Balaram, it is supplying different kinds of fruits, roots, and herbs, as well as very pleasing crystal water from its lakes in presentation to the Lord. The best presentation offered to the Govardhan Hill, however, by Govardhan Hill, is the newly grown grass for the cows and calves. Krishna is known as Govinda. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya, Namo Namaha. Why? Because Krishna protects the cows and Govardhan feeds the cows. Govardhan Hill knew exactly how to please Krishna by pleasing his most beloved associates, the cows and the cowherd boys. Here's another description. Lord Krishna was very pleased when passing through the Vrindavan forest by the sight of Govardhan Hill. On the bank of the Jamuna, he saw all the trees decorated with beehives pouring honey. There were many waterfalls on Govardhan Hill, and their flowing made a nice sound. Krishna heard them as he looked into the caves of the hill. When the rainy season was not ended completely, but was gradually turning to autumn, sometimes, especially when there was rainfall within the forest, Krishna and his companions would sit under a tree or within the caves of Govardhan Hill and enjoy eating the ripened fruits and talking with great pleasure. When Krishna and Balaram were in the forest all day, Mother Yasoda used to send them some fruit, sweet meats, and rice mixed with yogurt. Krishna would take them and sit on a slab of stone. While Krishna and Balaram and their friends were eating, they watched the cows, calves, and bulls. The cows appeared to be tired from standing with their heavy milk bags. By sitting and chewing grass on Govardhan, they became happy, and Krishna was pleased to see them. This is Govardhan, where so many leelas are taking place. So, we will continue to read what happened. When Krishna was with the cowherd boys and Nanda and Yasoda, so they were doing Govardhan Puja. Assembled to act as priests for Govardhan Puja, the Brahmins offered their blessings to the cowherd men and their wives, the gopis. When everything was complete, Krishna assumed, now listen to this, Krishna assumed a great transcendental form, and he declared to the inhabitants of Vrindavan that he was himself Govardhan Hill. Krishna was with Nanda Maharaj at the foot of the hill. Then Krishna assumed another form, separately, very big form. And he told everyone that Govardhan and I are not different. In order to convince the devotees that Govardhan Hill and Krishna are identical, then Krishna began to eat all the food offered there. All the foodstuffs, that big manifestation of Krishna began to eat everything. The identity of Krishna and Govardhan Hill is still honored today. And great devotees take rocks from Govardhan Hill and worship them exactly as they worship the deity of Krishna. Devotees therefore collect small rocks or pebbles from Govardhan Hill and worship them, because this worship is as good as deity worship. The form of Krishna who began to eat the offerings and was separately constituted, and Krishna himself, along with the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, began to offer obeisances to the deity as well as Govardhan Hill. In offering obeisances to the huge form of Krishna himself and Govardhan Hill, Krishna declared, "Just see how Govardhan Hill has assumed this huge form and is favoring us by accepting all the offerings." Krishna also said, "One who neglects the worship of Govardhan Puja, as I am personally conducting it, will not be happy. There are many snakes on Govardhan Hill, and persons neglecting the prescribed duty of Govardhan Puja will be bitten by these snakes and killed. In order to assure the good fortune of the cows and themselves, all people of Vrindavan near Govardhan must worship the hill as prescribed by me." So this is the Govardhan Puja. Now, since this time, many great devotees of Lord Krishna have lived at Govardhan, or they have visited Govardhan. And who is the foremost devotee in this age? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Radha and Krishna combined together. Krishna could see that Radharani was the best of all devotees, and her happiness was even more than his. So to understand Radharani's happiness, Krishna came in a special avatar known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Krishna with the feelings of Radha. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's color is the same as Radharani. What is that color? Golden. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, and we will hear what he did now when he went to Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya marked his body with tilak made from the mud of Radhakund. And with the help of Bhattacharya, he collected some mud and took it with him. This mud that we put on Gopi Chandan, sometimes when it is grey colored, it is Radhakund tilak. From Radhakund, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sumana Lake. When he saw Govardhan Hill from there, he was overwhelmed by joy. When the Lord saw Govardhan, he immediately offered obeisances, falling down on the ground like a rock. He embraced one piece of rock from Govardhan Hill, and he became mad with ecstasy of love of God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, now I have found Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he kept one Govardhan Shila. And you can still see the Shila if you go to Vrindavan. It is there. He gave this Shila to his very favorite disciple, Bhaktivedanta Swami. And when Bhaktivedanta Das got this Shila, he saw that Lord Chaitanya's thumbprint was in the Shila. That Lord Chaitanya used to hold this Shila so tightly and cry. He would bathe the Shila with his tears, and it made an impression in the Shila. You can still see this in Vrindavan. So this Bhaktivedanta Das Goswami, he lived at Govardhan. And he lived at Radhakund in Govardhan. He has written some very beautiful prayers, which I will read to you about Sri Govardhan. Who will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, the best of mountains, the friend of Gokul, the charming bumblebee? He's a poet, so you have to listen carefully when he speaks. He says, Govardhan is the charming bumblebee that for 7 days stood on the graceful whirl of the lotus flower of Lord Krishna's hand, and protected Raja from the mouth of the Indra crocodile, raining a great monsoon. What pious person will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, whose peak, whose top, is the place of pastimes for Lord Krishna, the master of the Sarabi cows, and near which is blissful Govindakund, where a Sarabi cow. Lord Indra, Lord Indra, he travels on this cow, so he has a Sarabi cow. Where Lord Indra, he travels with the cow. Where the Sarabi cow, followed by humble Indra, after Krishna lifted the hill with one finger, Indra became humble. Where humbled Indra, bearing the waters of the Ganga, bathed Lord Krishna, and the Sarabi cow secretly crowned Krishna as the king of the Sarabi cows. What pious person will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, which is glorified by the great sages, and which is encircled by the lakes, Siddhikund, Brahmakund, Harakund, Apsarakund, Priyakakund, and Sridhanakund, which are splendid with the happiness of pure love, and more dear to Lord Hari than the celestial Ganges and a host of other sacred places. Who will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, which is charming with cows, deer, birds, trees, and which is the place where the lakes, Jyotashanam Kund, Malya Kund, Harakund, Sumana Kund, Gauri Kund, Balaridvaja Kund, Gandharva Kund, many other lakes, many swiftly moving mountain streams, many lion thrones for amorous pastimes, many places for Lord Hari's other pastimes, and the coward for Lord Hari himself. They are all splendidly manifest there. Who will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill? He who will always devotedly carry, and he who always devotedly carries on his bowed head the lake known as Shamakund, which is millions of times greater than the Ganga, and which was born from the foot of Krishna, becomes more dear to the Lord than even Shiva. Do you understand? Anyone who takes shelter of Govardhan Hill, this place is so dear to Krishna that you can become dear to the Lord as Shiva himself. He who in the same way carries the jewel known as Radhakund attains the full mercy of Lord Krishna. He becomes most dear and glorious of devotees. Who will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, where the divine couple, Radha and Krishna, enjoy their rescue fee pastimes? You know this pastime. Krishna, Radharani wanted to cross the lake. So Krishna was there with a boat. So when they got in the boat, Krishna made a big storm come. Then Radharani clung very tightly to Krishna, and Radha and Krishna enjoyed very wonderful pastimes in this boat. Krishna made her pay a fee to be rescued. I will not tell you what that fee is. You have to worship Govardhan to find out. In the Manasa Ganga, the pilot Madhava took sweetly beautiful Radha on his boat, and when she, frightened by a great storm, prayed that he calm the storm, he claimed from her a rescue fee, the fulfillment of his loving desires. And what pious person will not take shelter of lofty Govardhan Hill, the beautiful and transcendental place of Ras Leela, where Radha, accompanied by her beautiful friends, worshipped by hundreds of goddesses of fortune, and the splendid nectar arm of Lord Krishna, playfully resting on her neck, dances in the springtime Ras Leela. Who will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, who, blossoming with happiness at the wonderful joking words of the gopis, perpetually wounded by the swift arrow shot from the corner of their cruel smiling eyes, and laughing at the crooked words of the ever-new Dhanakeli quarrel, the youthful divine couple displayed so many transcendental pastimes there. Who will not take shelter of graceful and auspicious Govardhan Hill, where, accompanied by Sridham and his other friends, playing with Sankarshan and carefully herding the cows, Lord Krishna happily sings, and where Lord Krishna enjoys amorous pastimes with Radha in the Ras dance arena and deep in the hidden caves. Who will not take shelter of Govardhan Hill, the crowned king of all mountains? For the people of Braja's sake, Lord Mukunda neglected the sun god's daughter Jamuna, a host of other lofty hills, the wish-fulfilling forest of Vrindavan, and the town of Nandishvar, and respectfully worshipped Govardhan Hill. By the mercy of Govardhan Hill, these 10 beautiful verses about Govardhan Hill, which grant residence at Govardhan Hill, have come from the mouth of a blind old man. The pleasure of Govardhan Hill, which is my life and soul, and which is the beautiful jewel mine of transcendental virtues, is the right fruit I seek for my labor in writing these verses. When our Srila Prabhupada was in his last days, in the last 3-4 days of Prabhupada's presence on this planet, what did he ask? He asked his devotees, please take me to Govardhan. So, now you may think that this is just to tell you now we must all go to Govardhan. Yes, we should want to go to Govardhan. But we are very unfortunate. We have left India, at least you all left India, to come to a desert. You left that land where Govardhan is situated to come to a desert. But you got one good fortune, Prabhupada's Kripa. Prabhupada's Kripa is that when Prabhupada came here, he didn't come here in the same way everyone else who came here came here. He came here to give Krishna to everyone. And because of Prabhupada, this ISKCON has been formed. And because of this ISKCON, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, Radha Nila Madhava come, and now Govardhan has come. So even though you left India not knowing that that is the place where there's Vrindavan, that is the place where there is Mathura, that is the place where there's Govardhan, Krishna has not forgotten you. Although you may have tried to forget Krishna, Krishna did not forget you. So Krishna has come today. Now those of you, how many people were here when we had our celebration of the Radha Nila Madhava installation 5 years ago? How many people were here? Raise your hand. So at that time, we did a very big ceremony for installing the deity. But this ceremony today is different. We don't install Govardhan because Govardhan is already Krishna. When we have the Murti, which you can purchase, you have to pray to Krishna, please come inside the deity to accept our devotion. But in this case, you don't have to pray anything because Krishna is already there. It's a different ceremony. It is only Abhishek. You start bathing the deity, that's all. So, I was thinking, for a long time on earth, we have 3 altars. So the left side is Gornitai, and in between is Radha and Krishna. And on the right side, we had our other Gornitai. And everybody was saying, what deity are we going to put there? Someone said, Sitaram, Sitaram. Someone said, no, Jagannath Swami. Put Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra. Someone else said, put Nathji. Everybody was giving their vote. So, somehow I was thinking all these years, what deity is going to come there? And then when I was in Vrindavan, just a few months ago, it was actually maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, then I got this inspiration that there are so many people here who are coming from India. And they all naturally are devotees of Krishna. And they love Govardhan very much, at least I have seen. Govardhan is favored by all the people of at least northern India. Everyone loves Govardhan. In Gujarat, in Rajasthan, in UP, in Punjab, in Sindh, all those places, people love this Govardhan in Vrindavan. You will see on Purnima Day, there are lakhs of people who go on parikram. 23 kilometers. Old men, young babies, and they go every single Purnima day, full moon day, and they go around. and they take that vow their whole life. Lakhs of people. So I was thinking like this. So I took permission that I was thinking we must bring Govardhan to Houston. Because all the devotees here are very sincere. Although you came to America looking for wealth, you only have found a broken piece of glass. And you're all disappointed spiritually. So I thought, now that you have come and you have become Krishna conscious, you should have the chance to be with Govardhan. You cannot move back to India. You cannot go so often. But still, I think you want to be with Giriraja, Govardhan. So I thought, let us bring Govardhan to Houston. But you cannot take the Govardhan Shila away from Vrindavan. This is a law. Govardhan Shila cannot be removed from Rajadhan. Because he's Krishna, and Krishna never leaves Braj. Krishna never leaves Braj. When Krishna went to Mathura to kill Kamsa, it is explained that actually that is one of Krishna's expansions. Svamsa form. It is an expansion of Krishna. Vasudev. Vasudev Krishna. The Krishna, with the two hands, who we know is in Vrindavan, he never left. The person who killed Kamsa is an expansion of Krishna. He looks like Krishna, but he's an expansion. Where did Krishna go? Into the hearts of all the gopis and gopas. When he left Vrindavan, he went in their hearts. And they were dying of separation. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And they knew he's in my heart. So, Krishna doesn't leave Braja. So how could I bring this Shila here? The only way is you have to get the permission of a Brajvasi. Someone who is a resident of Vrindavan can give Giriraja permission. So I took permission from a very exalted devotee. He is actually our cousin, not someone who misreported that newsletter. Srila Narayan Maharaj. His guru is Prabhupada's godbrother. So he is my cousin brother, but elder cousin brother. So he is very kind upon me. So I told them that there's so many nice devotees here, and I know they will love Giriraja very much. They said, yes, go ahead. So I waited for the Purnima day, and then I went with my godbrother, Yogipati Prabhu. Actually, there's a very good connection, because Prabhupada's godbrother, his name is Keshav Maharaj. He is the one who gave Prabhupada sannyas in 1959. And that sannyas yajna was performed by Narayan Maharaj. So there's a very close relationship between family members. So on the Purnima day, I went with my godbrother, Yogipati Prabhu, who you will see who is here. He is going to be performing the part of the ceremony. Yogipati, that name. What is a Yogya? It is the home of Ram, right? Ramchandra. And a Yogipati means Sri Ram. And a Yogipati Das is who? Hanuman. So I thought, oh, very good. This Yogipati Das is Hanuman. He is a manifestation of Hanuman. He will have to carry Giriraja. Remember how he will have to carry just as Hanuman carried Ram and Lakshman. So Yogipati Das will have to carry Giriraja across the ocean also. So we went on the Purnima day, and we got to Govardhan. First we went to Nandagram, the house of Nanda Maharaj. Then we went to Barshana, Srimati Radharani, Vishwabhanu Maharaj's, Radharani's father's home. And then we went to Govardhan. And there were lakhs of people chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, going again and again and again, chanting and circumambulating Govardhan mountain. So we were a little nervous because there are so many pandas, sadhus, and different persons, and they're all protecting Govardhan. And they don't let anybody take the Shila. They know, because Govardhan is so many people taking the Shila, the mountain is going down. So they're always protected. So we thought, how are we going to get the Shila? I told a yogi buddy, I must have a very big Shila. Usually, Prabhupada said in the book, it's the size of a pebble. But I said, our Krishna is no small Krishna. He's big text. Big Krishna. So we have to have a big Shila. So Yogi Buddy said, how big? He said, this big as your fist? I said, no, much bigger. I said, at least this big. So he said, all right, well, let us pray to Krishna and see if we can get help. So we went there, and we sat down right by the foot of Govardhan. And everybody was walking around the Parikrama, we were looking around, trying to wait for a moment when no one would be looking at us. So we saw that it was right next to us, there was a very beautiful Shiva. And the yogi buddy said, look at this Shiva. And he immediately put this Shiva on another Shiva. So we thought, this is the right Shiva. So I started to read, and we were looking around, and then a very auspicious thing happened. Of course, it was already auspicious. There was a Purnima day, lakhs of people, Vrishvasis chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then a very auspicious thing happened. One cow and her calf came from a long distance and started to walk. And we were looking at this cow and calf. And the cow kept going, must have been 1 kilometer. And the cow kept coming, and came right over to where we were sitting. Right next to the Shiva. So we were talking, then we stopped talking. We were looking, and the cow kept coming, and then stopped right there. A mother cow and a baby calf. So we had some prasad from our temple. We immediately fed the cow and calf. And then she licked our hands and walked away. Then we could understand her. There's nothing to worry about. This Krishna has blessed us that this taking of this Shila and taking this particular Shila is definitely has been blessed by the presence of this mother cow and her calf. So we immediately took the Shila, put it in our arms, and we walked away and we carried her. So we took the Shila to Radhakund, and we bathed the Shila in Radhakund, and then in Shyamakund, and then we brought Giriraja back to Vrindavan. So then when we came to Vrindavan, all the devotees of our Krishna Balaram Mandir came, and they were all amazed to see such a big Govardhan Shila. No, they had never seen anyone take such a big Shila. So then I told the Yogi Padi, now, Yogi Padi Prabhu, I'm leaving everything in your hands because I have to go back to the west. But you have to make all arrangements. So he took Giriraj with him into the market of Vrindavan, because you will see that he has eyes and everything. All things have to be put on his face. It's not just that he will be a rock. He will have eyes, nose, mouth, everything. So when he brought him to the Mortiwala to get all of his face decorations, the Mortiwala immediately looked and they could see that in this Shila there's a natural face. So immediately they designed everything, and all the Vrishvasis who were in the market all came and they offered dandavats and bowed down before Giriraja. They said, such a beautiful Govardhan Shila. So everything got ready. Then I immediately arranged one ticket for Yogi Padi Prabhu to come. But the ticket didn't get to him until the last day. And when it got there, he had missed his flight. Actually, he had to get no exemption certificate to return to Vrindavan, because the Yogi Padi, he looks after all prasadam arrangements at our Krishna Balaram temple and kirtan prasadam like this. So the DM, the district magistrate, was on vacation, and he had taken the Yogi Padi's passport, and the Yogi Padi couldn't leave India until he got his passport. So he went all over Mathura. Where's the DM? Where's the DM? Finally he found him, and then it was a holiday. The Prime Minister of India declared a holiday. Again, he had to wait. Finally, he went to the Delhi, and he went to the airport office, and he said, I'm ready to go. They said, I'm very sorry, but your ticket is a special ticket. You cannot change the date, and you have missed the date. And everybody's waiting. May 6th, and the Yogi Padi is looking at his date on his watch. What am I going to do? So finally he said, no, you have to pay extra money. He said, look, he told the man at the counter, you are from India. Surely you should let me on the plane. He said, I am from India, but I work for this airline. So pay. So he had to pay more money, and then he paid. So then he got on the plane. A Yogipati has many shilas of his own that he travels. He never lets them out of his possession. He has an Ashriya Shila of Lord Nrsimhadev. He has Shalagram Shila, Govardhan Shila, Dwarka Shila, so many Shilas. So, but the problem was that this big Govardhan Shila was weighing so much, and he was worried, how am I going to get it on the plane? Because he wouldn't put it in the luggage. And he said, it took all my strength to carry it. So he took his Shilas and all this special paraphernalia that we had purchased, the cane, the flute for Giriraja, and put it in luggage. And then he got on the plane. And they didn't say anything because he's very strong, so he carried it and it looked like it was just a few pounds. Actually, this Shila weighs 23 kilos, 15 pounds. So he was carrying it as if it was only 2 or 3 pounds, smiling at the customer. Because, they want to know, are you have any soil samples? They always ask these questions. This is not a soil sample. So he got on the plane, and then what happened? The plane sat there in the Delhi airport 6 hours. So, you have to put his name, what is going on here? What is this Leela, Giriraja? Some special Leela. So after a few more hours, they announced, now, this plane is not going. So, if you want, you can get off, we will put you in a hotel, or you can try and get on the next plane. So Yogipati is looking at his watch, it's already days and days late. He immediately got on the next plane. And he came, we were calling back and forth, where is he, where is it? Then they said, he's not, he left. So finally I get a call. Right? Where was it? Right here. Huh? We were in the room, and suddenly someone brings a message. And it says, there's a phone call from a Yogipati. And I looked at the number, phone number, and it was a New York number. And I knew, he's in America. So he's here. So then we called him, and he's in the airport, right? And he said, I tried to call every number, call and collect. He said, but this Houston temple, you can't get a collect call in the Houston temple. He said, the temple authorities have made the phone in such a way, you can't get it. I put all my coins that I had in this phone. He said, who is that tightwad? His name is policy. So I said, anyway, it's all right, now we're talking. So he said, all right, I'm here, but there's one problem. I have Giriraja, but all my bags, they were not on the plane. So then we said, I said, but Giriraja stayed? He said, yes. I said, okay, come. So Yogipati came, and we all went to see him at the airport, and it was like Hanuman. We should have taken a photo. It was just like Hanuman. He was carrying it right on his shoulder. It was so heavy. And he came off, and then we've been waiting. Now, today, he went, and he got 2 of the 3 bags. And one of the bags has all of the shilas. But still, our Giriraja's paraphernalia, his flute, his mukut, all things are still in the missing bag. Now, Yogipati called the airline. They said that we have one bag that sounds like your bag, but there's no handle and no tags, and it's in the London airport. So Yogipati is trying to negotiate now. We have to get this bag. We hope this is the bag. So everybody must pray to Giriraja. You are here now, please. You must pray to bring back this bag so we get all of this paraphernalia, because all of these things are still there. So now Giriraja has come. And today we will do now a fire sacrifice, yajna. And right after that yajna, we will begin the baking of Giriraja. Just as it was done, this is the ceremony we have heard it performed for thousands of years, and we will do the same. We will bathe Giriraja with nice water and dahi and food, milk, and in this way, gradually he will shine very beautifully, and then we will establish him on the altar. And we will be in ecstasy. And then, what will you be able to do? You can do Govardhan Parikram. You can get the same benefit. That you just walk around this temple, and you will be doing Govardhan Parikram. No need of 22 kilometers. So this is a great mercy of Giriraja. You get the same benefit. So we are very fortunate today. Now you can tell all your friends in Houston who are not here today, you must go to Hare Krishna temple to have darshan Giriraja. It's like people worship Nathji. Everybody, especially Gujaratis, are very fond of worshiping Srinathji. Srinathji means Krishna holding up Giriraja. Here is Giriraja. If anyone wants to worship Nathji, here is the hill that Nathji lives. So we are very fortunate that we will be getting this darshan. So now we will begin the yajna. You are all very kind that you sat and listened. Where is the yajna? He is very humble. You will see him. Everybody. They just wanted to see you. He is Brijvasi. He has lived so many years in Vrindavan. Anyone who goes to Vrindavan now, you just say, I am from Hare Krishna Temple Houston, and you have your Pandit. He is there to look after all your needs. He will immediately take good care of you. So now anyone who goes to Vrindavan, you come and stay at Krishna Bhavana Temple, and Yogi Prabhu is there. He's in charge of all prasad. So you will not starve him. No prasad.
Everybody move forward.
Wait, which way is forward? He says this way, you say this way.
Please move away from the door.
Oh, move away from the door, that's forward.
Just sit down here.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not a chance.
Just chant Hare Krishna. Everybody, please listen and repeat after me. Om Pavitro Sarva Kato Kundali Aksham Sarvaya Yantraha Suchi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu I wish everyone to repeat whatever I say. Vande Sri Guru Sri Now when I say Swaha, throw a couple of grains. We have to do it many times, so keep only a little grain at a time. Swaha, Pancha Guru Vaishnava Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare. Those of you who have rice, now the last 3 times you finish all your rice. Don't throw them in the stove. Swaha. Now, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Om Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Hitaya Krishnaya, Gopinaya Namo Namaha, Om Brahmanya Devaya, Om Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Hitaya Krishnaya, Gopinaya Namo Namaha, Brahmanya Devaya, Om Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Hitaya Krishnaya, Gopinaya Namo Namaha. Om Girirajaya Namaha. Om Girirajaya Namaha. Om Girirajaya Namaha.